Hey, this is the Kubeflow community meeting for the 13th of May 2025. We've got lots of interesting things to talk about today. As usual, if there's new people in the meeting who are new to the community and just want to say hi, just very briefly say hi. Feel free to unmute, or if you're not comfortable, you can say hi in the chat. Um, I also forgot, yeah, there is the CNCF Code of Conduct as well, so make sure that you follow that. But yeah, if you're, yeah, there was, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, hi everyone. Again, I'm not new. I've been doing it for last Jan, Feb, like last 3, 4 months. I think this will be my first meeting after GSOC. So I'll be contributing to Project 7, G2 LLM Blueprint. So yeah, just wanted to tell everyone for that. And last couple of months were very amazing. I learned a lot of things. Now I think this couple of months will be very good learning for me, as well as I think I'll be able to contribute a big thing to Qflow. So excited for that.
awesome. Welcome. Oh, that's a good point. You just reminded me to add GSOC to the agenda as well, so that's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Does anyone else want to say hi? Any other GSOC students who happen to be attending who just want to say, oh, we that got selected, obviously, please? Yeah. If not, then let's move on to the KOC announcement. Oh, we got one person? Yes? Someone unmuted, maybe? Okay. Hi.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Vilmira. I'm based in Sofia, Bulgaria, and I got introduced to Kubeflow at KubeCon in London, and I find be a very interesting products. Over the past few weeks, I've been diving deeping into the various components, and I'm extremely grateful to have the opportunity to be part of the meetings today. Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. I'll kick it off to Francisco if you want to do the KOC.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I want to give a big shout out and a big congratulations to Chase, Valentina, and Stefano on being our founding members of the Kubeflow Outreach Committee. This is really, really important. I linked to the Kubeflow Outreach Committee charter, and the idea here is to highlight people's contributions that is not limited exclusively to technical implementation of the software itself. I think there's part of fostering good communities is how we engage with new people and welcome new people and advertise and market ourselves and kind of broad bucket outreach to other people. And so this is kind of an explicit focus on this. And again, really deeply grateful for Stefano and Valentina and Chase's contributions so far. They've been very helpful, and we just want to continue that. And if you look into the charter, there's some interesting points about where they're able to kind of nominate leads, so that we can potentially engage with universities or other people who are interested in having a nice addition to their resume and want to actually explicitly help grow the community, especially in this AI world. And so that's really what this is about. And so if you know anybody that wants to be involved, that's interested, please feel free to connect them. I think we want Kubeflow to be top of mind when people think about AI ML infrastructure, whether that's ML ops or Gen AI or LLM ops or whatever. We just really want to do that. And I think that's, we spend a lot of time on the code and on the releases, and we don't spend as much time on getting back content to customers. And I think that there's going to be a continued push from at least myself and some of the other members of the KSC to really advocate for that, because we have a great product, and I think it's about surfacing it to people. And Andre has been doing a lot of work here himself, plugging this at KubeCon and MLSys yesterday. And so I think there's just a lot of great work here to be done.
Thank you. Yep, so congratulations to those people. I guess they will figure out the process to nominate leads and then figure out what we're going to do. Obviously, I think there's some discussion about making sure that we have access to some of the social media channels that we don't currently have, but I think we can talk about that offline. Specifically the YouTube channel, but I think that we'll get that solved. I don't know if I'm assuming we haven't had any movement there, or have we? Okay, cool. Just checking. Cool. Anything else you want to add there? If not, awesome. Congrats. Let's so GSOC, is Ramesh here? Or someone else who was involved in one of the org admins for GSOC? If not, then congratulations to the people who were selected. Obviously, I know that a lot of people applied and weren't selected. Obviously, there were hundreds and hundreds of applications. So I do want to say, like, just because you weren't selected doesn't mean you're not a great programmer. It doesn't mean you didn't make a good proposal. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't contribute. It means that it's sometimes things just don't happen, right? It's not necessarily about you, you know. But I encourage, if you want to reach out to the working groups and still choose to work with them over your summer or as your side projects and stuff. Of course, mentorship does take time, so there would be less, you know, of that. But I do want to say thank you to everyone who applied as well. Like, I know it takes time, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do. I'm very excited. There's lots of people. I think we have 10 people. Is that right, Francisco? I think so. Yeah, should be lots of interesting stuff happening over summer. Cool. Anyone else want to say anything? GSOC? If not,
No, just if folks want to review the kind of selected projects that we're working on, there's some really exciting Gen AI applications. It's a big focus for us this year. There's a lot of great platform enhancements. Thank you to everybody who participated, who's supporting. It's really just fantastic, and you know, thank you to all the people who submitted, and you know, even if you didn't accept it, we did read through your proposals, and so just we're very grateful from the community, and you know, yeah, just it's going to be, like Matthew said, really exciting to see the work.
Awesome. Cool. Graduation, I think, is probably definitely the next biggest topic. So, someone from was the CNCF guy here?
Jorge is here, I believe.
Hi.
Hey, I'm still looking for a link that I need to give y'all. But the biggest thing I wanted to put on the radar. Can you all hear me?
Yeah. What link? Sorry, I'm a bit confused what you meant.
I'm just fishing up some links to. Let me back up. So I went and talked to my team about the security self-assessment and some of your steps. And I think the biggest issue I want to bring to the table is during the incubation step, the projects are supposed to do a self-security assessment. And that's usually like where you write down where you think you are, where you're supposed to be. There's like a template that you follow, but it's an old template. The problem is that when Kubeflow was put into incubation, that assessment was never finished. And we have to have that for graduation. So it was supposed to be done in the past. However, Bob, who helps the talk, who's on staff, gave me there's a new checklist that you can follow in lieu of a security self-assessment that's much simpler. And that is the form that I'm looking for. So the reason this kind of got complicated is at the CNCF, at the talk, the Technical Oversight Committee, there were groups called tags, and they were basically like user groups like tag security and all that kind of stuff. They rebooted that entire structure. So a bunch of the steps in there that say, you know, get a review from a tag. There was a step where you go to a meeting and you present what Kubeflow is, all that stuff is kind of up in the air, and there are different tags and things like that. So I'm trying to gather that information and put it in the issue so it's not so confusing. And then the second thing I need to do is the talk meeting conflicts with this meeting. So this week I would like to at least get on the calendar a meeting with at least enough maintainers with Bob so you can ask him questions about this at a more granular level, because we all kind of need a refresher on that. I know I've been talking a lot. Does that make sense?
Yes. Is there a place where this is being talked about not on this issue internally? Also, I think we did actually present stuff. I think it may have just maybe got lost in the time. We definitely did actually present Kubeflow. We made a doc and everything, but I don't know, which was reviewed, but I don't know.
Yeah, we need to look at that and ask Ricardo, because he was the talk rep at the time. He was on the talk, but he's no longer on the talk. He's just hanging out there.
Because I think we did present a doc to them, I remember writing one, so I don't know if it was specifically to security though, and maybe that's what we maybe didn't do. I don't remember if it was.
Yeah. So this is what I'm working on this week. This is my biggest task is the issues that we have for graduation and the actual process for the talk are not synced up exactly. They're generally close enough, but it needs to be exact. So I'm working that, and I will reach out to y'all to try to get a meeting in with Bob. We'll go through everything. Like, it should be clear to you what all the next steps are, but they're not clear to me at this point. So I just want to spend this week to make sure that the open issues that we have in Kubeflow and the open issues we have in the talk repo are aligned.
So yeah, do we actually have an issue to link here, or is that not?
So there is you have a tracking issue in the CNCF/talk repo. Let me look. This is what I was looking up when you called on me. I thought we'd be talking at the end, so you got me by surprise. All right.
It's important.
There is a board. You're on the board and you have an issue. Let me find it.
Is it a pull request?
No, it's an issue.
I can't.
On applications to move to graduation.
This looks. Okay. I don't know. Proposed CNCF to incubation stage. This one. This is an old one.
No, I'm looking at the projects board in the talk repo. Anyway, keep the discussion going. I'll keep digging on this.
Okay, cool. Yes, anyway, we just wanted to give a high level overview anyway, because we do it mainly in the other meeting. I do agree that it's problematic that the talk meets at the opposite on the week that we're meeting at the same time that we're meeting. So there is a chance that maybe we should double meet one week and then flip the weeks around, you know? I don't know what everyone else thinks about that, but is that a thing that regularly we should be cross meeting with these people, or?
I don't think so. I think it might make sense from now on until Atlanta to at least some of us sync up with them, and I can do the bulk of that. I think most of this is just aligning up GitHub issues.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we have a bunch of issues in here that obviously we should, if you can, try and connect to the ones that are in the upstream, like
right. I was going to make like one of those markdown checkbox things. Yeah.
So like either make a new one here or connect it to the CNCF checkbox list one, which I don't know if this, maybe we need to update. We'll make a new issue here because this one was for, this was made a long time ago. I don't know, but yes. Anyway, let's
issue. Like if someone were to say, what's the status for Kubeflow graduation?
Isn't that on the CNCF repo normally that would happen?
That's exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, if it's not there, if it's probably incomplete, I will go ahead. I will work on that this week. I will make that. Okay.
Yeah. So if we don't want to get, if we need to send some delegation to the talk meeting or something, that's fine too. But yeah, I would love to move this forward as quickly as possible, obviously, so that we know what we need to make changes for, so that we can get before KubeCon and have that all land. I'm very excited. Thanks, George, for your work here. Obviously, everyone else working on it, thank you as well. Anyone else have anything very pressing to say about this right now? Andre, maybe? Yes, no? Okay.
I remember now. Matthew, we were finishing the application.
Sorry,
that was
sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, George, thank you for this. Like one quick question. Like I know you're still waiting for me to create the service desk ticket, right? Do you want me to just move forward and create one, the one that you can suggest me to do last week?
I forgot which one it is, but yes.
I think he's talking about security assessment. I don't know if that's the right place to do. 100%. Is that the right place to do that?
Yeah, like this is like my question, right, George? Like, what do you think? Or should I just wait and we should just move forward to the other steps for now?
Yeah, if you could file it like today, that would be really great.
And specifically, What is he filing, just so we can confirm?
I don't know. That's why we wrote it down last week.
Yeah, I think, George, yeah, I think we discussed it. You probably just waiting for me what is it? Just give me a second.
Sorry, I'm really under the weather today, so I'm trying to make it work.
Yeah, anyway, we can have this, I think it's probably program management, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I need to create one and they give you like the number, right, for this service ticket. All right.
Okay.
All right, I will do that. Yep, I do. Thank you.
Yep.
Awesome.
So the reason I want to meet you with Bob is Bob has the list. He's going to say, all right, first do these steps in this order. And then that's where I want to get us to.
Cool. Awesome. As long as we're moving forward and that we've got months at a time, but we don't. But time does move on, so we need to.
We're doing this as fast as possible. We're graduating for Atlanta.
I think I just again what I said, like similar to what I said last week. We need someone who can help us with these checklist items, like outside of security review, right? So please, like, if anyone on the call want to volunteer and help, I think it will significantly, significantly improve like our process there, right?
Yeah.
So I
Hey,
would
Andre,
love,
I'm
yeah.
going to call you out right now. I have a PR with one of the tasks open that I asked you to review on. Please review it, stamp it, or
Repo is it in? Sorry.
it's on the governance page. It'll close at least 2 issues.
Yeah, I saw this, Francisco. I need to still review it, but I mean, outside of like you yourself and myself, like we need like other folks to
Yes,
help
yes.
us, right? Like I saw some engagement happening on the K-Source side. Like I really want those people to help us in the Kubeflow as well, right?
Yeah.
On the gradations, at least like for some small issues, right? Which can be easy to solve.
Because also just documenting on the website doesn't solve the governance like structural questions as well. But yes.
Yeah, so technically the governance issues are already there. It's just documenting them is what the
Because a lot of it's already documented in the repo, right? Is it just linking to the repo?
Exactly. That's
Okay,
exactly.
cool.
Yeah. So a lot of it is just actually we have a lot of this stuff available. It's just kind of surfacing it in a way that's digestible is a B part, and then like consolidating and then we discussed this last week. A lot of it is just bundling the application together, which is where there's a lot, and I think that is a bit of a Herculean task.
From a website perspective, though, we need to make sure that the website doesn't ever become a thing that might be interpreted as the governance policy. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, there's a PR. You can see it.
I'll check.
I tagged you. I did
Okay,
that.
I got tagged on like 1,000 issues in the last week. So
No,
yeah, it's
I figured.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm calling out here, not just to be
awesome. Yep, sounds good. We'll definitely get that going. And so Jorge, please continue to message either in the public channel or other channels so that we can move this forward. We're eager as heck. Awesome. Anyone else have anything they really need to say about graduation? If not, then I think someone just asked about an SDK meeting. I mean, if the SDK people want to make that, sorry, I'll let the graduation question land first.
Here's what I'll say. SDK people, I will prioritize your contributions. The faster you help us with
they're not even have their component doesn't exist yet. That's unfair.
It'll exist sooner if we get graduation underway. If that's not
I don't
abusive,
know.
I don't know what it is.
Okay. Anyway, I don't.
So let me make a point here. Like, do we have Sat on the call?
Yeah, we
think
do.
we have.
Here, Andrew.
Yeah, so my personal suggestion is for us for now, like sync on the training working group calls. Because I understand like for the long-term vision, we kind of want to separate this in different working groups, right? Working group. But given that, right now we're waiting for the release and we also need to, like move the modules. So I think it would be easier for us to just sync on Wednesdays. What do you think?
Yeah, it's okay, like initially, but sometimes just like we need to maybe prioritize it to get the ball rolling, because like sometimes it gets lost in the trainer discussion. We prioritize the trainer stuff for the AutoML, and then the SDK gets like stuck a little bit.
Yeah, I think So, sorry, go ahead.
No, but you're right. We can keep it for now on the AutoML group, but we can have like maybe after a few weeks, or like when the MLX is I think there was another PR from either on the MLX. That could be like where we do the SDK stuff.
So I think like my kind of vision on this, I agree that we should have a separate meeting, right? But I kind of view this working group as some sort of cross-working group collaboration, right? Especially on the SDK side, right? Because people needs to be aligned with pipelines team, right? With trainer, what to do with with optimizer or Katip, right? We need to have like fine alignment. So I kind of like expect to allocate the time to discuss this, experience on different working groups. But I agree for you for long term, yes, we need like dedicated meetings, because I know that Eder also working with the GSOC students who work on extension, like Jupyter extension, which require basically separate discussion. And
my view here is that we can definitely make a lot more progress async. I think is the key thing. We should definitely make time in the different working groups, because obviously that's going to be critical. But I also do think that we can be a lot more effective async on things.
Yeah, I
So,
think yeah, good.
yeah, to be clear though, like if you need a development meeting, set up a development meeting. You know what I mean? Like so, like this is like I'm not like so to be clear, this is more like just the place where we check in for a component. Maybe it can be the training operator, or maybe it can be some combination of training and other ones. But like if you just want a meeting where you just like say, oh, here's our development task, because presumably you'll have a bunch of them. Is that reasonable, Andre, to have their own meeting? You're muted, Andre. Uh, hello? Maybe not. Okay. Uh,
Okay, it's just like the idea here on the SDK thing, we're trying to prioritize this. Like we have a couple of engineers that we can dedicate to it and we can help, we can like get the ball rolling and start adding and contributing more to the SDK. That's our main objective here. So
Yeah, I
that's why
think
we're asking for
yeah,
more
yeah,
focus
yeah.
on
So
it.
like
But anyway.
I think that's right. Like I said, I agree with you that, like in the future we have more maintainers, right? And right now, like it looks like we only have like, two maintainers, which is like owner's files, and we need to definitely fix it. So I feel like, once we kind of, finally decouple the APK from the controller, right, it will be much easier for you guys to contribute, right? Because like, just need to make sure, we're aligned on the, on APIs, on, like what we're going to propose, right? But I think like development will go much faster once you have like, clear process there, right? Um, yeah, because right now, like we just have a limited amount of people who review PRs, unfortunately.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so wherever we can help, guys, we're happy to help.
do
Thank
you
you.
have a Slack channel? Should they
For
have for training?
Yeah,
I'm sure like there was a yeah.
so we do have two Slack channels, right? We have the Kubeflow Trainer Slack channel, and we also have the Kubeflow ML Experience Slack channel, right? So just please, Matthew, maybe you can link both of those Slack channels in this doc, right?
So are those the ones we're going to use, or should we have an SDK specific channel?
I mean, again, for I would kind of try to avoid, a lot of channels, right? Because it's really hard for, for users, especially
I think
new,
ML
yeah.
experience should be the channel where we discuss it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like for instance, the trick is that how we can make sure the people who use Trainer are also aligned with it, right? Like we can talk about it offline, but I mean, I just want to understand like your perspective, right? Because the more important for us what users actually want, right? So, and if users
I
like
mean,
kind of
like my candid answer is that like Kubeflow Trainer has most of the people, and like we're going to have to talk about it in both for a while, and just cross post, and like that's just the practical thing. But
Yeah.
the long term, like yeah, they should probably be Kubeflow ML experience, and that should be like
We could
really
even rename that, maybe.
SDK.
Yeah.
Well, it's the ML experience working group, and the working group is the one that's attached to the SDK repo, right?
Is and that's what the channel is for. Is it? So
Yeah.
it's current. Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I think ML experience is kind of hard. People won't know to look for it. You know what I mean? They're gonna think from an app layer perspective, I imagine, right?
I mean, I agree with that. That's a good point. Maybe we
Because like
should
people find
take that
notebooks
one.
by
Yeah.
searching for notebooks. You know what I mean? And things
No,
like
no,
that.
that's a
Yeah.
good point. That's
Yeah.
a really good
Because
point.
there's only like 30 members right now, and I'm not even in the channel. Like I wouldn't have even known to join it unless you'd have said. So
I
yeah.
kind of yes, I agree with Matthew, and I think eventually we will adopt that users will just raise their questions about pipelines or Trainer in the dedicated Slack channels, right? So we really need to think deeply, like how we can guide our users, right? Because we kind of like yeah.
Yeah, like maybe we should rename it SDK.
And I mean, let's maybe, yeah, for now, I guess the thing is, SDK is a new thing, right, Francisco? And in the long term, kind of like we say that SDK will be the primary interface for entire Kubeflow, right? If it's not if it is not UI, right? So we really need to really understand like how we can guide users, right? And
Should we add a prefix to the word SDK, like or something, or should it be like Kubeflow AI SDK or something, or like?
I don't hate that.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because then it's more clear of what it is.
Let's have this discussion in Slack. Yeah, there's a lot of opinions. I'm going to put it in the announcements channel.
We rename the.
This is actually a good thing for us to discuss. Naming things is hard. Let's see.
I wouldn't say we want to rename this Slack channel because, as I mentioned, Eder, he's not on the call right now, but he's planning to also discuss the Jupyter extension, right? As part of this working group. I think Luciano also here, so I'm not sure. Like, I guess Luciano, if they if you think on this, but the goal is to kind of provide also a lot of extensions as part of this working group, right? So there is not only SDK discussion which will happen, right?
Then it's just like, do we want another? Okay, let's table it. We can discuss this offline. In the
Yeah, yeah.
absence, I guess if we don't discuss it, it's just going to stay what it is. So
Either
like,
way, this one will probably be the one from SDK. So join this channel. There we go. That's
Yeah.
all I'll say for now.
thank
Cool.
you.
I wasn't even in it, so yeah. And also there was, we don't need to talk about the technical aspect. I just wanted to bring it here quickly because it was related. There was some PRs to move the training SDK code to the SDK repo. How's that going?
I think that's still stuck. Is that right, Saad?
There was another like final PR for mutating data sets from electronic waste, and I'm planning to review that. And I think that's the last PR before we even tag Trainer v2. This is for Trainer v2 release and migrating SDK to the Kubeflow SDK repo.
Okay, awesome.
So that's just like I wanted to just ask Andrew if there is any other thing, but I can do that async maybe on Slack. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you, and thank you for offering the help, Saad.
Welcome.
Okay, cool. I'm sure that can move forward on its own. So yeah, let's keep going. We'll do a quick release thing. I don't know if I know that someone had an issue that's technical related to the DNS thing. We need to obviously fix that. We need to obviously turn off the indexing on the 1.9 branch as well and merge some PRs. So it's a little bit. We've all been quite busy, I think. But yeah, so we need to like I think so. The issue is there was no 1.10 branch on the drop-down box right now on the website, and we need to make sure that exists. But before we do that, we need to merge the PR that will turn the archive mode to work properly on the 1.9. Anyway, I probably need to just work with Valentina for that. But I think she's away. Okay. Anyway, anyone want to give an update on 1.11 or?
For me, moving that, Matthew, just for information, I'm following up on a thread that was open in Slack because the videos needed some little rework. So I've received 1 out of 2 rework points. So we are following up with the Salish for the re-recording of the trainer part. I think that Valentina discussed that with Andre. As soon as that video portion is available, we'll make the second edition of the video, no problem.
Oh, and update it on the website. Yeah. And also, yeah, we're going to post it on the Kubeflow channel as well, right? We don't have the credentials though.
That's also the other task that is open, correct?
Okay. Cool. So yeah, that sounds great. Okay, there is a blog. Sorry, I'll just move that one away from this. The slide deck obviously has been recorded. So we have recorded a video pending some editing.
Pending the receival of the rework for the trainer part, and we also still need to. I mean, the edit can be done in 1 hour as soon as I receive the new recording for the trainer part.
Okay, yeah, okay. Pending. Waiting on re-record for training. Wait, trainer.
Yep.
Section will edit and upload to YouTube once done. We do need to fix the YouTube channel issue then.
I will provide the link of the GitHub issue async.
Okay. Okay. I think there was a question as to what we're gonna do a 1.9 10.1. Did we end up doing that? I can quickly check. I don't think we did, but let me check. No, we didn't. Okay, so I guess we were waiting on trainer to do this. Did this end up getting released? Okay, I guess we'll follow up with manifest people offline. 11, I think we're still focusing on graduation, and once we have a breaking change, we'll discuss releasing 1.11, but I guess we're waiting until then for now. Other than that, okay. Does anyone else want to talk about anything related to releases before we just quickly move on to some technical questions? and then we can give people their time back. Okay. If not, sounds great.
All right.
So yeah, I just do want to highlight again. I really want to get all the old tags on from a technical perspective. I want to get the old tags backed up, if you will, onto the GitHub container registry images, just so that we don't lose them if Docker Hub ever goes away or does something crazy. And then it's easier to migrate them all to the CNCF ones once we get access to that. The Kubeflow Kubernetes one, sorry. I'm just checking if there's anything from last week as well. I still, if anyone wants to help work on the CRD visualizer thing for the website, I'm definitely, I think this would be very valuable to a lot of the projects to have a standardized way to visualize CRDs, automatically generating it. And I think there's no good solution in the world right now. So if someone's passionate about this and has time, I guess, and front end experience and stuff like that, then this would be I'm happy to help point you in the right direction. The trainer v2 docs, I think that's a question for Andre, but who's not here right now. I think he dropped, but come back to that. Yeah, and there was some other website updates. But anyone else got anything technical they want to bring attention to the whole community? I'll work with Valentina to get this fixed, but this website issue. But okay, come to the working group meetings if you're interested in getting involved technically. People who are still here. So we've got a meeting on Thursday for notebooks every Thursday. We have lots of stuff going on for notebooks 2.0. If anyone else want to shout out their meeting?
What shout out do we want to do? More local mode. Big shout out to what the work that Saad and the team has been doing for the trainer, and they've been implementing like a local mode for training so that people can test the Kubeflow trainer locally without using like a Kubernetes cluster. And then so, we know it worked well on distributed, but we want to, enable people to be able to test it with just pip. And so I think that's a really great UX. That's thematically what we're trying to do with the Kubeflow SDK. And it already exists with functionality in Kubeflow pipelines and Feast. And I think it's just another example of how we can really start to, invest in a really good UX. So that's all.
Cool. How's the model registry stuff going, by the way, Matteo, while you're here? Like, are you happy?
In which regards to the
Well, like,
graduation?
No, just in general. Like, so, like, I just haven't been following it super closely. Do you want to give a quick update to like people or not
Oh
really?
yeah, absolutely. No, I will be happy to. So actually, we had our usual bi-weekly call. So we are updating that one regularly every bi-weekly. We have had some discussions about some of the new features that we are starting to work towards the Kubeflow.1.11 as new features. So, for example, yesterday Paul presented some of the refinement that we Dheeraj and Ramesh has been working on for what is the concept of a model catalog and some related UI as well. So that if people are interested there, they can follow. This was the last yesterday. 2 weeks before, I think that with Alessio presented some of the work that we are addressing some technical debt basically with the MLMD removal. So that was a discussion that I think that other working group were interested one. We have updated as always the GitHub issues, but as well we talked in details in that 2 weeks from before. And what else? Also, we are keeping action items open for the graduation, meaning like the badge. For example, yesterday during the Kubeflow Modernity bi-weekly meeting, we noted that we moved from 19% to 34% for the badge. And we sort of like break down the activity that we need to do for going to the badge
Cool.
to 100%. And what else?
I've got so from like a not technical perspective, like, what's your plan to make Kubeflow model registry the standard model registry?
Well, you can open if you want in Kubeflow model registry repo the milestones. These are the activities we're working on high level. So if you go to the top where you have issues, you can go milestones.
Okay. Yep.
Issues, milestones. So we have adopted 1.11. So here we have adopted the recommendation from the release team to sort of like only keep here the high level items in some ways that we are working towards for. And these are the key themes that we have identified to be working on so that when the next release will happen. These are the things that we will have worked toward for. It doesn't necessarily mean that we will have completed all of them, but these are the ones that we are actively working towards too.
Cool. I mean, obviously this is still very technical, but like, yeah, I also want, yeah, that sounds great. I'm excited. Hopefully we can, get some people who don't use Kubeflow right now to adopt the model registry as their model registry, for example. That's kind of my question for you. Yeah. How are you going
That's
to do that?
call out because also as well, we've started to adopt the adopters MD file. So we've had
Oh,
already
yes.
some
That's
putting their
important. I should put
names
that
on
at
it.
the top.
Yeah, so actually this now makes me wonder is like maybe we can use during this meeting for people that are following the community call and they want to add their names to the adopters that they can do so. So thank you as well for merging that one. And in general, so everything that we're working towards for model registry, I would say is a model catalog connection with the storage for OCI that we've already been partially doing and now we're extending on. So model catalog, the storage API, the removal of MLMD so that we can manage it easier, and then other integrations. So those are the key themes that sort of like you will find in the roadmaps.
Sounds good. Also, I want to highlight, we actually have also got our own milestones now for Kubeflow Notebooks 2.0, which I will just quickly, it's the easiest way to get there is by going to the Notebooks community meeting repo, not repo, whatever this is called. And it's a little bit hard to find right now, but I think it's at the top of every meeting. You have to scroll down a lot to get there. There's a doc about roadmaps and how we're trying to define like personas about the first release and how the first milestones will be defined. Of course, if you want to hear more about it, come to the meeting on Thursdays. I just wanted to call that out. We have epics and leads of epics now because there's so much work going on. So I just want to highlight that as well. But yes, also adopters, if you happen to be an adopter of Kubeflow, please add your name to the relevant adopters. I saw, Francisco, you made a one for pipelines?
Once, correct.
Awesome. Let's
There
keep
are others,
adding.
but like I figured what was minimally to at least check the box.
Yes, of course. But yeah, like there are obviously many thousands of users of pipelines, so this is now a great place to document this for if you want to publicly say you're using Kubeflow pipelines. We obviously I need to get one created up for notebooks as well. And now we have almost got one for every project.
Do you want to create the one for
It's pretty. I
notebooks?
mean, yeah, definitely we should do it in the notebooks repo. I think at the
Yeah, that's fine.
in the main branch. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just like, can I ask that as an action item for you?
Do you want to add it as? I mean, if you want to add Red Hat, it might be easier then. You know what I mean? Like that. That's
Oh
as of
yeah, interesting.
because I need to have the first one in there. It's just like someone needs to be in there first, right? That's kind of the
Yeah. Let me go do that. Fine.
like. Yes, that's that. I'm not saying yeah.
No. I get it. I get it.
Because otherwise, I need to track someone down to
Very
put.
practical.
Yeah.
You can't put Red Hat's name.
No, I cannot put Red Hat's name somewhere. No, that'd be bad. That would be a bit weird. Okay. So, awesome. And so just for reference, though, if you use any of the components or you use the platform overall, please do add your name here. It is great. We are working on getting a front page updates for the logos, but we still need to get approval from a couple of the companies to do that. So the pre-R is pretty much ready, but just we need to get approval from a couple of them.
I think you can cross out that bullet point, Matthew.
Which one?
The one that you had the mouse just no, the one below. Merge the adopters. No. Yeah,
Oh, you've already done that. Yes.
Yeah, it's done. Thank you.
I'm just going to say create adopters file for notebooks. Okay, I do wanted to show, I'll just quickly show that just because why not? If you happen to work for one of these companies and are able to approve adding your logo to the front page, I'll just quickly show you what it looks like. We updated it so that it works well and tries to comply with all the guidelines. Of course, you have to be a CNCF member, which makes people much less likely to be all litigious. But this is kind of what it looks like now for the dark mode version. So I made them white, like it's pretty standard. But for the non-white one, I just wanted to show this. Yeah. So this is kind of what it looks like, obviously. And the goal is that it links to this other page because I want more people to see this other page. And now when you click here, you'll end up on this page, which is great. And obviously dark mode is that, light mode is this. There is some debate in the stylistic community as to whether you should use colored logos ever on a front page that are not clickable items. You know, some people think you should desaturate them or make them single colors like black. But a lot of it's complicated from a brand logo perspective. I don't know. But this anyway, so if you work at one of these companies, Red Hat's already approved, I believe. Amazon's already approved. So we need Google and Nvidia. But yes, okay. Let's end the meeting, I'd say, unless people have got anything else that they want to talk about or any other working groups who just want to give a quick update. Obviously give an opportunity to them. If not, thanks for coming. Exciting.
Happy Tuesday. Thanks,
guys,
folks.
and everyone else.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, bye.